Today we're going to talk about team warm-up, both before practice and before game. And I recommend that you use the same warm-up every time out for familiarity's sake. Particularly in the sport of baseball, I want to find a place where I've been many times where I can get comfortable before a game, and really a place of mental nothingness, just where my mind can go blank. I can focus on what's really important, the skill of hitting a baseball, playing defense efficiently, whatever it may be that you have to focus on, without the distraction of new activity or different activity every time. So 2 focuses, we just want to get you really warm. We want to touch on every range of motion that you experience in game. And with that comes a common place before every game, which allows you to relax mentally. We're going to break the warm-up into 3 parts. First, general warm-up, or we'll jog for 2 minutes. Very simple. If you're at home, you'll set up on the first base line out in right field. You're going to jog to center field, touch the wall, come back, jog to center field a second time, touch the wall, and come back. So 2 trips to center field, very light pace, where we're literally just focused on getting your tissue temperature up and clearing your mind. So warm-up is a very literal term. We just want to heat up your tissue so that you're less apt to injure it once you're moving quickly. Second part of the warm-up is the ballistic warm-up, or the dynamic warm-up, where we're going through extreme ranges of motion and building in intensity till the last exercise when we bring it all the way up to a sprint. And the third and final part of the warm-up, which we've focused on some in workouts, is joint mobility. And the 2 main joint mobilities that we'll look at are the wall slide and the 90-90 stretch for thoracic and scapular thoracic mobility. I'm going to take you through it now. So number 1, as we start off, I want you to mark off 20 yards from right field if you're at home, that first baseline, out towards center field. You can take 2 cones, set it up, 20 large steps, and that'll be our distance through which we'll work for every repetition. Starting off, the 2-minute jog, center field, back, center field, back. Then moving into the sequence of dynamic events. We're going to start off with a 1, 2, 3 kick. So it's 1, 2, 3 kick. 1, 2, 3 kick. Remember, most important here is that I'm moving from the hip joint exclusively. I'm not rounding the spine every time I kick. And pitchers especially, we're looking to achieve hip separation. Once I get to 20 yards, I'll jog it back. Second activity, 1, 2, 3, knee hug. Every third step, I'm going to hug my knee to my chest, okay? Remember here, same idea, I'm flexing from the hip, not flexing from the spine. That's a bad rep. This is a good rep, okay? I'm moving exclusively from this hip joint. I get to 20 yards, I jog it back and reset, just a light jog. Thirdly, heel walks. I'm going to walk the full 20 yards on my heels. The focus here being keeping the toes up. I want to point my toes to the ceiling, stay on my heels so I can activate the anterior tibialis. I get to 20 yards, I'm going to do the same thing but in reverse. So I'm moving backwards now. 20 yards back. Now the anterior lower leg is very active, enabling me to really drive the toes to the sky when I sprint. We're going to turn sideways now and tall shuffle. I just want your hands overhead like you got accustomed to in your wall slide without arching your back, okay? Get your hands overhead just by using shoulder mobility, not by extending the spine. Same thing coming back, hands up high, the anterior core is locked in, and back. Good. Next, we're going to get in an athletic position. Low base and shuffle. Now, my steps are short and frequent, and the hips are flexed the whole time. Chest up. So from the profile, I'm not rounding here. My chest is up. And I'm working laterally exclusively from the hip joint again. So you'll notice a trend, and we'll move back the other way for 20 yards. Same thing. The trend being, I'm always moving from the hip, not from the spine. Okay, all the activity is here. We're basically greasing the hip and stabilizing the spine. Now, 1, 2, lunge, and rotate. Take your time on both the deceleration and the rotation. Some of you guys may want to crash here because you're uncomfortable. I want you to really take your time. You can't take it too slow in that rotation. It's a mobility exercise. Keep in mind, warm-up is always supposed to build in intensity, not to be intense right from the start. We get to 20 yards, I'm going to scoop out of it. 1, 2, lunge, generate upward momentum with the hands, scoop out of it. Drive through your heel to get out of it. And back to the start line. Okay? Now let's turn it around. Hamstring stretch. 1, 2. Fire your quad. Get your toe up. Chest up. Same concept here. I want to flex from which joint? The hip, as always, not from the spine. A bad rep would look like this. The spine is round here. I'm flexing from the hip and the spine. A good rep, conversely, would look like this. The spine now is straight, it's locked in. I still have the same amount of hip flexion, sparing my spine and encouraging a divorce of the hip and spine, which is what's valuable to you in time to develop power. Okay? Then we'll turn it around and backpedal forcefully to the origin. Okay? Next, calf bounce. And you can insert this one right after your heel walk. Will probably be a better place for it, but we'll demonstrate it now. So once the anterior shin is active, I want you to go into circles. I'm literally bouncing off the ground. Each time my toes leave the ground, I'm lifting at the ankle. So rather than sliding the foot to flop, I want to get the toes up each time. Now moving backwards, same concept. Gain control of the ankle. It's your force delivery mechanism. No matter how strong you are on the hips and knees, it doesn't matter. It's only worth as much as the ankle can contribute to the ground. Okay, so we've got to gain control of the ankle. Take toes up every time. Now, up tall and fall. We're going to take it into a sprint. I'll be up on my toes. 2 keys to acceleration. Body lean and knee drive. Don't step until you have to. Eyes down, short arms, lean. Drive out forcefully. Focus on range of motion at the hip. Drive those knees high and fast hands. Okay, one more time. Ready? Eyes down. And drive out. Good. 2 more of those will give you 4 total up tall and falls. Now, second part of the warm up is over. Now, quietly, now that we're really warm, I want you to go over and we're going to, under control, hit on the main joint mobility exercise. Start off with the wall slide, my lower back. No arch here. I want to roll the hips, tighten the core, keep the spine set to the wall. Elbows at shoulder height, hands back, and slide up as high as you can. Reach your sticking point. Exhale from the belly, and then control it back down. Okay, again, up. Exhale and reach, and down. Notice how the back is not coming off the wall when I reach. It's staying in contact, okay? You'll do 10 reps of the wall slide. Then you'll move to the ground. We're going to go into a 90-90 stretch here. So hip at 90 degrees, knee set at 90 degrees, hands out in front. I'm simply going to take this bottom hand, set it on my knee so it stays still. My eyes will rotate with the top hand as far back as I can, okay? You should, if you move well, be able to touch the ground here with your hand. And we'll take 10 deep breaths. Each time fully exhaling from the belly to let out all that tension that's trapped in it. And moving the other way. Key that you keep your eye on your hand. 10 deep breaths. Very good. Now, those are the 2 most important and critical controlled joint mobilities that we'll have. I'll show you 2 more quickly that you can add in given time, okay? To the wall, the ankle stretch. Get back 3 foot lengths. You're gonna lean in as far as you can. Exhale, get a little bit deeper. 6 of those. And then the leg swing. Get upright, arm straight, kick through. Rotate from the hip and ankle for 10 reps, and then switch sides. Good. Now those are the 4 joint mobilities in total you can do. The first 2 being imperative, the last 2 being optional. If you have trouble with either of the first 2, repeat them and do them again. If you have any questions, guys, email me at ben@benfairchild.com. ben@benfairchild.com. Or you can call me. Coaches have my number. Just give me a call, let me know if you got any questions, and we can go over any of these things that you need. Good luck, guys.